Hey guys, Ponylon here. Today I have something a little bit different for you. With a lot of requests that I've had recently on how to do super ejecting or Rendezooks, as well as the addition of Jack Frag's new Xbox One competition for basically only in Battlefield moments, I figured this would be a good time to do the tutorial. Now today I'm going to be doing the tutorial on how to Rendezvook, or for that matter, just how to super eject. So I'm going to go over all the basics. This is not just going to be a PC only thing. Everyone knows I play on PC. We have our own different ways of how to do the super eject method. So I'm going to make sure that I cover everything, not just the PC. So let's get right on into this, guys. The first method is for PC only. Now bear in mind, on PC I keybind my spacebar to pitch up. So what I do is I fly straight. Doesn't matter if you have to burn or not. But what you do is you hold the spacebar and you eject. Do not hold W when you do this or you'll fall straight down. Once I do that, I just guide myself using the WASD keys to get back into my jet without parachuting. It is very important that you try to get used to doing a super eject method without parachuting. Once you get back in your jet, all you got to do is eject normally, and you'll fly out just like this. Now, as you're going to see again, I get right back into my cockpit using the WASD on my keyboard to guide myself in my cockpit without having to parachute. The reason why I say it's important is because once you parachute, even one time, you're not going to be able to do another parachute if you mess up on your re-entry into your jet. Plain and simple. After you've already parachuted once, you will fly in a random direction once you pull your parachute again. So keep that in mind. Now, the second method. This is a method that people can do on console, but it's not a very suitable choice on water maps or maps without much landing spots. What that is you land your jet and you jump out. You'll notice that once you pretty much eject out in a funny way, that whether you do like the landing and you fly out like 30, 50 feet up in the air, and then you're able to get back in your jet. Once you do this, once you land your jet and you do that method I just showed you, you're going to be able to just eject from your jet and you'll have the super eject. Now, I'm going to show here very soon one of the things that I like to try to preach when I'm talking about the super eject. So once again, you're going to see me do this without using my parachute. I'll show you what happens later on if you do use the parachute, but the other thing that's important to note is that when you are doing this, when you're ejecting from your jet, you need to make sure that you're flat. Your wings need to be parallel to the ground. If you turn at an angle and eject, as you can see, you're going to be going in that direction. So you want to make sure that your jet is parallel to the ground before you ever do any of these super ejects, or you're not going to get back in your jet. Plain and simple. Now guys, this is the big one. This is the one that console that everyone's been wondering about. It's the first method I ever learned about, so I'm going to take my time and explain this to you. So, the first thing that's important, it doesn't matter if you have the attack jet, it doesn't matter if you have a stealth jet. You're going to want to climb immediately up in the air. You need some good altitude to be able to pull this off. Once you get that altitude that you desire, or that is needed I should say, you're going to then go down towards the ground at 45 degrees. 45 degrees, no braking, no afterburner. You eject out, and you guide yourself into your absolutely parallel with your jet, and you hit the parachute. Now, on console, keep in mind, you have your analog sticks. Use them. Use your analog sticks to guide yourself towards your jet. Don't let yourself get too far away, and don't let off too early. So, once you do that, once you get in your jet, as you can see, all you got to do is eject and you have this. Now, I have pulled this off on PS4. When I was testing Naval Strike, I was able to do a Rendezook using that method. It works. I guarantee you it works. You just have to get used to your analog sticks and guiding yourself back in. Just like on PC, you have to use the WSD. Now, remember guys, these are the tips for the super eject for any platform. On console, you can either land the jet or you can do the 45 down degree method like I just showed you. On PC, you do basically the space bar or land your jet. Now, that's basically all there is to it. Now, when you're practicing this, the best way to be able to practice your rendezvous is to work your way up. So what I mean by that is, well, what's an easy target to go ahead and do this on? Obviously the gunship. The gunship is the most preferred method for me in order to be able to pull this off. So guys, when you are able to actually get into a game, once you think that you're comfortable enough to actually do a super eject, it's time to start practice shooting. Now, I use the RPG whenever I'm actually playing. Now, that doesn't mean you have to. You can use you can use an SRAW, which I do not suggest. That is really hard. But just pick a rocket of your choice and get to work with it. The gunship. The gunship is the best way. Once you see that both engines are on fire, you are good to go. I think the RPG does about 23 damage. The small is going to be similar. It's not going to be too much of a drop off in damage. But once you get it going, give it a shot. See if you can actually do a nice little rendezvous. Now that's what I say is one of the easiest ways to practice. Now, like I said, I always preach to try to do your super ejects without using a parachute because it will mess you up once you start using it more than once. Now, once you work your way from the gunship, I obviously would suggest using scout choppers. It's all about choosing your target. I've always preached this, no matter what, that when you're going for rendezvous, choose a target that's at the right altitude. You don't want to choose something that's low to the ground because you're going to be flying too far above it. On top of that, if your jet's too close to the ground, your landing gear will come out, making it almost impossible to get back in your jet. And even if you do get back in your jet, you're going to be going so slow that anyone's going to be able to shoot you. But yeah, guys, it's once you get used to the method of just jumping in and out of your jet, work your way up. And for me, I always try to get myself as close to my target as possible. I shoot down choppers the most. That's a given for anybody. I have taken down plenty of jets, but I actually do not have any saved recordings for you to be able to see that. Now, the methods for taking out jets would be if they're on your backside, but the easiest is if they're coming from the front. Now, once you start getting used to, like I said, shooting the enemies, you can start choosing harder angles. Now, for example, this clip right here, I'm going for an attack chopper. He's very low to the ground. I don't suggest doing this normally.
I'm just having trouble
lagging. Once you figure it out, you can try giving some good lead shots. Now, this is another reason why you shouldn't do it low to the ground. As you can see, I got the shot, but
what happened?
I wasn't able to get back up.
Oh shit!
It's all about comfort, guys. And for me, the most important parts is to get used to doing the super eject first. Don't try doing shots and everything until you're used to it. From there, work your way up the food chain. Work your way on a gunship first. Yeah, it's a very big target, easy to shoot. After you get used to the gunship, work your way in some scout choppers. Attack choppers are nice slow targets too, but it's all just about being familiar with where to shoot when you're doing this. Get yourself as close to your target as possible. Don't pick your targets at your rendezvous. Fly and play normally until you see something you can work with, and then go from there. Now, once you start getting really good, you can try pulling things like airmail and things like that. Do Bombino, where he jumps out and snipes people and gets back in his jet. It's all about what you want to do with it. And I really hope that this helps you out. I hope that everyone's able to understand the instructions that I gave you for this. From there, guys, good luck to those with the Xbox One that want to try to pull some crazy stunt. Be creative with it. I'm very interested to see what people can pull off with this. I'm sorry that it took me so long to come out with this, but here it is for you. Now, guys, once again, hope to see you guys pull some of this stuff on the battlefield, and until my next video, see you guys later.
Good job. 1, 2.